Hello peeps, welcome back to Big Deck Player with me, Matt Sparks. Today we are taking a look at a Mage deck, and this one is pretty good. So this one is called Scratch's Third Midrange Mage, and found on hearthstone.com. There will be a link in the description which will take you right there. I'm noticing a bit of similarity between a lot of the decks at the moment. There seems to be a lot of decks that use very similar cards, and I think it's just because those cards are particularly good, and so a lot of people will have those cards in their deck and then kind of base the rest of the deck around that. So we shall take a look at this deck. Starting at the top, we have two Undertakers. This is a very commonly used card because it's such a strong card effect that it's not silly not to use it, but if everything goes right for you in the game, then this is a really fantastic way to bring out some strong damage early on. So we have two Undertakers, we have two Zombie Chow, which are a great one-drop minion. The downside is obviously the death rattle. But if you use the Zombie Chows for early game control, then the 5 health isn't probably going to make that much difference. If you can use the Zombie Chows to prevent your opponent from getting cards on the board, then it's probably worthwhile. Late game, however, if you get these sort of towards the late game, then might be a good idea not to play them. But if you get them within the first sort of 3 turns, go for it. So we have two Frostbolts, because it's a Mage deck, and you'd be silly not to have Frostbolts, because they're great ways of early removal. And obviously, they can be used to control heroes that have weapons. It stops them from attacking, so that's pretty nice too. Two Mad Scientists, because we have 3 secrets in this deck. So Mad Scientists are great because they also combo well with the Undertaker. We have 2 Unstable Ghouls. Again, works very well with the Undertaker. 1 damage to all of your minions, depending on how many you have out, is probably not that much of a big deal. I mean, Mad Scientist, for example, doesn't matter too much if it dies, because it's going to give you the secret for free, so it's not that much of a problem. Zombie Chow has 3 health anyway, and hopefully by the time you're putting Unstable Ghouls out, hopefully your Undertaker will have 3 or 4 health by then anyway. So it's a great way, and because of the hero power that the Mage has, this can really be useful for getting rid of anything that has 2 health. So we talk about secrets. We've got them here. We have 1 counter spell, and we have 2 duplicates. I still haven't decided what the best cards are for duplicate yet. Probably late game stuff, in my opinion. Getting a Sludge Belcher and then having it duplicated is probably one of the best uses of duplicate, because Sludge Belcher is such a great taunt, and it's such a pain in the backside to get rid of. So that's probably one of my personal favourites. But it's a great card anyway. So we have 2 Acolyte of Pains. Now this card I wasn't 100% sure on, because it's for card draw basically. And originally the deck creator had put in Arcane Intellect, which arguably is better, but I don't know. It's a toss-up. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's the best use of 3 mana in this particular deck. I guess if you're able to, because you put the 3 mana out, the 3 cost Acolyte of Pain out, and then you're having to ping it with your hero power to get maximum effect out of it. And I'm just not sure that that's the most mana efficient way of getting card draw. So I don't know. That's what's in the deck at the time I created this and I'm making this video. So that's what I'm going with. But if you want to change it for an Arcane Intellect, then maybe you could go with that. I think the main reason they had Arcane Intellect was because they originally had 2 Mana Worms in this deck, and obviously now that they don't, they've taken the Arcane Intellect out. So, yeah, it's up to you. We have 2 Harvest Golems, again, Death Rattle to combo nicely with the Undertaker. Harvest Golem is a really good 3-cost drop anyway, so it's a really strong card, plus it combos well with other cards that you've got in the deck. Why wouldn't you put it in? It's great. 2 Fireballs, again, like the Frostbolts, it's a mage deck, why wouldn't you put this in? 6 damage for 4 cost. Put it in. We have 1 Polymorph. Bear in mind there is only 1, so you might want to keep that for late game. 2 Water Elementals. Similarly to the Frostbolts, really good for controlling weapon-based heroes to stop them from attacking with anything. Really, really useful for that. We have a Lotheb, because Lotheb is awesome, and making your enemy spells cost 5 more mana for the next turn is great. This is also one of the cards I think I might use with Duplicate. Imagine, if you will, if you have your Duplicate out and your Lotheb out, your Lotheb dies, you get 2 more Lothebs. That's 2 more turns that your enemy is going to have a tough time casting any spells. That could be a winning situation right there. So that would be pretty cool. 2 Sludge Belchers, as I mentioned before, love that card. We have 1 Sylvanas Windrunner. Another high candidate for Duplicate, because they'll want to get rid of that as quickly as they can. So then if you then have 2 more, then that's really gonna make them mad. We have 2 Flame Strikes. Quite often in mage decks I've seen just the 1, and I think most people that you would play against would probably only expect you to have 1. So the fact that you'd have 2 in this deck might take them by surprise and may end up helping you get rid of a whole bunch of their minions. 1 Ragnaros the Fire Lord, because it's Rag, and well, I don't really need to say anything else about that, really, do I? I mean, it's Ragnaros, come on.
I have no time.
And finally we have an Alexstrasza, because Alexstrasza, you know, these cards, they're legendary for a reason. So yeah. There is also a budget variant on this deck, which is linked on the Hearthstone page itself. So if you don't have some of these legendaries, then maybe you want to try that out instead. But this is a pretty strong deck from my experience, and I think you'll like it. So I suggest you give it a try. Let me know how you get on. If you make any videos of this deck, feel free to tweet them at me, and I'll come check them out. As per usual, you can find this deck over at Hearthstone. There will be a link in the description, so you can go check that out for yourself, which I highly suggest you do, and go over there and give it a plus rating. If you find any decks that you want me to try out, or you want me to spotlight in this series, feel free to tweet them at me and let me know if they're any good, or if even if they're just like funny or interesting gimmick decks. I will give them a try. I will give them a try indeed. So thanks very much for watching. I will see you next week on Big Deck Playa. Bye bye.